So I also wanted to make a video on my start mix. Now this is the mix that I actually start my seeds with under the grow lights. And the reason why I want to do this video is because I've tried a lot of different start mixes before. You know, they're usually the sterile kind. I get it because they don't want anything, you know, bad, that, you know, any fungus or anything that's gonna inhibit your seeds when they start germinating. Okay, I mean, I get that, but I feel that, I mean, a sterile mix really is only going to let your seeds get to about this high, and then after that point, your plants are going to need the nutrition at that point. They can't. The seed will only provide a certain amount to a point. Then they need to start gathering it from the soil. So, I mean, this size of pot here will hold a lot of nutrients to let it get quite large. That's a lot of times, you know, a plant will do okay until it gets to a certain size, and then after that, it just doesn't do that well anymore. And so I want to kind of go over what I've done to make my own mix to kind of overcome that. So basically what I have here is I have three things that I've done that I think is great. This is my first year doing it, and it's been great. I really thought this through. I wanted to start with something that I thought would be like the perfect blend. So the base of what I'm using is called Grower's Gold. It's an indoor growing mix, which basically means it's like a sterile soil, except they add mycorrhizae to the mix. So it's kind of like almost like a yeast. It's like a dry, you know, powder basically that blossoms into a mycorrhizae. The base is not peat; it's coconut coir, which I like because it doesn't have the low pH, the acidity. It also has perlite in it, which, you know, I think a good start mix should have some perlite to it. And so those three things are the reason why I like the Grower's Gold. I got this at Home Depot. I think it was like, I can't remember, like 10 or 15 bucks for a bag, and it's a decent sized bag. So not bad. I mean, I used like half this bag, and I did maybe 4 or 5 of these flats. So I think it's fine. So this is great, except it doesn't really have any, you know, anything in it. There's no nitrogen. There's no nothing. So.
You're so silly, chicken.
Hi, baby.
Papa?
Hi, baby.
Mommy?
So basically, what I did to improve the soil is my next thing is what is this? Worm compost. So basically, what this is worm shit, and I bought this from a local guy here in town that makes this stuff and sells 5-gallon buckets worth. You know, I got a big bucket worth because I'm planning to make some compost tea later on in the year. I'll probably make some videos on that. But you know, you can find it by the bag. I like this better because a lot of times the stuff in the bag is sterilized before they send it to you. You know, which has its benefits, but I really would like. When I got this, there was literally stuff crawling. I could see like springtails and little tiny worms and all kinds of stuff. So that's what I want. I want like a, you know, a screened but, you know, alive mix, because, you know, I really don't, I'm not down with the sterile thing. So anyway, that gives you all your nitrogen and all that good stuff that plants love. The next thing is some mineral supplementation. You know, scientists don't know exactly everything that plants need to live, you know, and I think that there's lots of little different minerals and things that plants need that we don't fully understand. So John Kohler and growingyourgreens.com turned me on to the whole rock dust thing. I kind of have a container of it. I have a big 5-gallon bucket of it in my shed, but I really kind of want to just maybe show, you know, this is just basically ultra fine rock is all it is. It's dust, rock dust. And you can see it just blowing in the wind there. And I literally got this stuff from a quarry that I think they call it like wicking sand. They use it for throwing down, absorbing water on road projects and stuff. They sell it for $7 a ton. And I think I filled up like 6 or 7 5-gallon buckets. They charged me like $3 for it. So I got a pretty good deal on it. You can buy like commercial stuff like Gaia Green or Azomite, which is great stuff, but I can't find it anywhere in my area, and it would cost a fortune to send 50 pounds of rock to my house. So I didn't go that direction, and I find this stuff works great. So this is what I use. So that's my three things that I use. I got the Growers Gold, the worm compost, and the rock dust. That's my start for this, and I think I've gotten the best results ever on my seed starts ever. So, and these guys are great. These things are only like a month and a half, maybe a month to a month and a half old. I'll have to check. I'll give you an exact date. I'll look it up when I started these, but they look great, and I mean, that's really not that much soil for a plant that size. I don't know if you've ever started before, but I mean, tomatoes can get real spindly, and not just tomatoes, all plants can. They can look terrible. Once they'll look great when they're that big, and they start getting bigger, and they get all long, and they fall over, and then that's it. So these are the best plants I've ever started. They've had the greatest looking roots, and so this is what I'm doing. I'm sure there's lots of other people who do different things. I'm sure the people like Miracle Grow and all that stuff, and I've used it and I don't like it. I like to go organic. I think it's definitely the way to go. There's no reason to have like a sterile soil with a bunch of petroleum based nitrogen and shit in there that I don't think that plants aren't made to process that stuff. So that's not the direction I'm gonna go. That's all I can think of for now. So if I think of something else, I'll either add it to the video or maybe I'll just make some commentary in the bottom of it. So thanks a lot. Bye. First bring these outside is you do not want to put them in the direct sunlight when you first bring them outside. They will cook. I mean, tomatoes love sun, but they don't like it right away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set them over here in the shade. I might not even leave them here tonight. I probably just want to set them in the shade for now, just to kind of get them a little bit of natural light and kind of let them harden off a little bit. You get a good cool night and they'll harden off pretty quick. I think it's going to be like 40 degrees. That's a little too cold for me on new tomatoes overnight, so I probably won't leave them here overnight. I'm just going to leave them out here for a little bit and kind of cool off, because just sitting on the table for the last 20 minutes, the peppers have already wilted down pretty good, but they'll perk back up once they get in a cooler temperature. They're real sensitive when you grow them under lights, so you got to be careful with that. So I just want to show them going in the shade. I don't know if you can see that, but these are peppers. This is a peppercini, and you can see how wilty he looks. And he literally has only been outside for like 10 minutes or maybe 20 minutes or so. So if you left him out here in the direct sun after he's just been under grow lights, he'll wither away in just a little bit. So you gotta be real careful with him. So I'm actually gonna move these guys inside right now. I think there's plenty of growing space left for this guy in this 2.5 inch pot, so I'm probably just going to put him back inside. But I really want to do this tomatoes today, because that's kind of what I was going after. I may plant some other things, though. I have some kale and some other things that are kind of cold crops. I actually might just put them in the beds maybe today. I was going to top these beds off because they're real low. I'm probably 4 or 5 inches lower than when they were originally put in last year, and I really want to top them off, but I also want to start putting plants in the ground too. So I need to go get some compost. I can't really afford it right now, so I might just, they'll grow fine in this amount of soil. It's really just my personal preference. So I may just plant in this level and just deal with it until next year. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I also want to mention how important it is to water your plants in very thoroughly after you transplant them, because I'm overdoing it there. Right now after you transplant them, they get a little, they get a little stressed. So one way they can recover is just by, the way they can recover the best is if the roots are thoroughly soaked after a transplant. So I just want to kind of show you what you should be doing after you transplant them. Now there's also, I'm kind of doing a little faux pas right now, because I'm doing something that I've kind of decided I'm not going to be doing anymore, which is watering with water from your hose. And this is really preference. I've grown lots and lots of plants off of city water, but I'm gonna go away from it. I'm gonna put some rain or a rain catchment system on the roof to start catching rainwater to water my plants with. And the main reason is chlorine. You know, I could go through and I can get 5-gallon buckets, let it evaporate out, and all that jazz. But you know, that's just a bunch of work. So the reason why you don't really want chlorine in your water is because inside the soil there's all kinds of little bugs and everything, and chlorine does a great job of killing bugs. So, you know, I haven't done like a scientific study where I took one plant that has grown in, you know, rainwater and one that was grown in chlorine, but I have watered with, you know, spring water before, got great growth, and then I started watering with chlorine water, and I've seen the growth slow down. So, one of these days maybe I'll make a video and I'll do a side by side, and I'll grow one with spring water or one with well water or whatever, and then one with chlorine water, and see how big of a difference I get. You know, I may or may not do that. What's that, Boo Boo? You want to hold the watering can?
Yeah.
Okay, you can water. You can water the. You want to water the tomatoes?
Yeah.
Go ahead and water the tomatoes.
I'm
So.
gonna put this kiwi right here for the chickens.
Okay. So I just want to make sure that I stress and. Yeah, here I'll help you. Just go like this. See? You water them like this. See, Boo Boo? We just planted. We just transplanted them, so we gotta get them nice and wet. Here we go. Here you go. So anyway,
You hope you carry me?
I will. I'll have to just start this over.